Hello everybody.
Hi.
Wow. Just wow. We've been given permission access to record an incredible air raid shelter. Now we'll say it's in Kent and that's all we're going to say.
Yep.
But this one is a mystery. An enigma within a mystery, I think actually we could argue.
Yeah.
It's been labelled potentially as a communal shelter and we'll sort of go through that. Although we will determine more information whilst we're down there. But the owner, Ben, thank you so much for this, mate. This one is a really... Well, you've been in.
It's intriguing.
I've seen videos of this before, but I've not been in yet. But you went down.
Just down, yep.
And yes.
Intriguing.
Intriguing.
Very intriguing.
I'm so excited by this one. I mean, I really am excited by this one. Without further ado, should we just crack on?
Let's go.
Come on. Wow. Come on. Right, yo, everyone. We are about to go down easily the deepest private shelter we've ever been in. And Sophie, as you can see, it's a big old step, isn't it?
That first step's ridiculous.
But look at this. This is just absolutely incredible, and it is deep. We're talking like, what, 30 foot? Easily. Is that right, Soph?
About that, yeah, sir.
About 30 foot underground. Now you can see some, I'm having to be really careful here because the stairs are a little bit uneven, but you can see some beautiful old notches in here. Well, like cabling ties, aren't they really? For what would have been some cabling, but it is pure concrete. Now what we can almost say with the one thing we can definitely say is this is World War II, and we know that because the house was built in 1926. So between World War I and World War II, for all of you history people, just in case you probably would have known that already. But we're down, and it might be the deepest one we've ever been into. Obviously Sophie, like I said, has already done some prep work. And then you come in and it's... Ooh. And I'm going to film Sophie just walking down to give you a bit of idea of scale, but this is crazy. Right. Let's take the old torch. So, for layout purposes, Sophie has just walked down the steps. There's nothing behind Sophie. We can safely say that wall would not have continued. Everything is concrete though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no... Then, this is going to be our mystery we're going to come back to in a minute. Because we said it was a communal shelter, or it might have been a communal shelter. Now, as you can see, these bricks have been rudimentarily put in there. And we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to tease you with that a little bit, because that's very interesting. But there is so much interesting stuff to look down on the floor. All these wooden, I don't really know what to say. They're just bits of wood that, without context, could tell an amazing story. So, again, this is Sophie. We've got to put this in order. There she is. She's walked down the stairs. As we come through, you can turn right here. And this, by the owner, had said that this was potentially used as a toilet. And I'm not going to tread on too much stuff. But the idea was that, and I could safely say that that's almost a... It's interesting, actually, because I've just realised there is wood up there. Oh, now I'm getting...
Now, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Down in the corner.
Yeah, I know. There's like a box, isn't there?
Another box. These slats here on the wall.
Yeah.
Looks like a bunk.
So you can see this thing here. Again, not treading on too much stuff. There's like a stall or something. Oh, if I touch anything, it's going to break. It's that old. We know that it's quite possible this is all World War II for the sheer fact that at this point of time, most of the stuff you're going to touch is just going to snap. I'm perplexed.
It's either a toilet.
It's either a toilet
or a sleep space.
or it's a sleep space. Now, what makes me wonder? Do you know what? This is a real mystery, this one. So for context as well, everybody, there is no record of this at all. Zero record of this. So there's just nothing out there.
No.
We've looked, and for the amount of concrete, look at this, Val. You can see where the beams have sort of like the mesh for the beams. Obviously, if you don't know, just as a rudimentary way of saying this, to build this, you basically create a framework, almost like paper mache. Mm-hmm. Again, rudimentary. And the idea is then you fill that framework with concrete. So sometimes what happens is that when that concrete goes, you see the skeleton. Lovely word. Skeleton framework of the building, but I am perplexed by that. It was said that it was a toilet, but I'm sort of this corner. But you know when you sort of think to yourself, yes, it's quite possible, but you've got these wooden sections here. I don't know, and the corridors themselves are quite narrow. So should we talk about the biggest mystery of all, which is where Sophie is standing? So we've spoken about it already, that we said the rudimentary nature of those bricks. So here's our big shocker. The conclusion was that this was a communal shelter, and the rumour that we can say was that if we remove those bricks, that would continue. Now, we as a recording this, and probably by the time this video comes out, we'll still be doing some additional research. And what we'll do is, if there's anything else we know about, we will add it to our records, but we'll also potentially put out stuff if we felt it was necessary. The idea is that that would have continued on to the neighbours' gardens, which would then make it a communal shelter. Now, those bricks, it's hard to tell, but we can safely say they are more modern in terms of the way they've been placed. They've been placed really sloppily. You think everything else is concrete, and they've just put those bricks in. Now, if you were gonna seal that off, you would just put a concrete wall in, wouldn't you? Really, the amount of concrete you've already got, why wouldn't you just seal that up? What we've also been told, if that's the case, the rumour is there's every possibility that there's a lot of stuff that's intact. We've also, as a recording this, been given permission, should we want to, in the future, to help
take the wall down.
Take the wall down. Can you believe that?
Because we're intrigued as well.
We're intrigued as well. If we take that wall down, it's going to give us some answers. Sophie, I'm going to give you the camera because I want to look on that top corner where it has been exposed. Now, that's quite possible just some fall anyway. But if you can get as close as possible, see if there's any clues as to if or not. Yeah, careful, because there's a lot of artefacts, as you can see.
Oh, so it's not even how many bricks deep will be? One brick? Because you've got the concrete lintel there still.
Yeah.
Just trying to see if there's any gaps.
Great if there was.
Right. Yeah, that's done sloppily. They've used a lot of grout.
But it's not.
Water.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It's very intriguing. There's definitely a tree growing down in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's only,
I can't see it continuing from here.
No. You're going to have to take this back off.
So if that's the case,
please step backwards.
Then fundamentally this section here would be the primary shelter. So I'm going to, if I give you this.
But why build it so deep?
I'm going to give out a couple of scenarios here. All right. Now bearing in mind me and Sophie have visited, coming up to almost over 100 easily now. individually as well as secularly, but we've visited, as you probably know, a lot of private shelters. A lot of them a fair few we've not recorded because they're private, but I'm going to give out a couple of theories. Mm-hmm. First theory number one is that doesn't carry on, and that this, what we're standing in, is the shelter itself, and that in front of us, instead of being a toilet block, that is...
This was...
No, yeah.
Toilet end.
Yeah. So this is one theory, everybody. I think because of the way these wooden beams are, if it doesn't continue, first off, that means it's not a communal shelter. It could be that could have been a bunk going across. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, look, hang on, that's a bit narrow for one person. We've been into ones where they're very small and you just need to crawl in, haven't we? So that's not out of the realms of that. In other words, you'd be going lengthways across there. That's one theory, and then what would that conclude was that would be actually the toilet area.
Space.
Because that...
But why is it bricked up and not concrete?
Yeah, good point. So that would be the cubicle block. The second theory is that we just go with what the rumours are, which is that wall would have carried on into the neighbours' gardens. I think it straddled two houses. Gone along underneath two houses and would have entered. This is all speculation, by the way.
I think he did say the neighbours' gardens are twice the size.
Neighbours' gardens are twice the size.
Twice as wide.
If that's the case, then that's right. And then what we're standing in, but this still makes no sense to me. That's the cubicle block that's behind us, in front now for everybody, round the corner, which is what we said before. If that's the case, I've never seen something so private as that toilet-wise. Yeah. Normally, you just have that courtesy curtain or blanket, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But the fact that this is one of the most private toilets that would be World War II wise that I've ever seen, private, by the way, not military or anything, where you're in here, and then you've got that space there. Why all this space here? Surely, where you're standing, you just make a little buttle here, like what's there. Put your chemical toilet in, you're done.
Yeah.
Blanket over. It's a mystery. Yeah.
Great, is the tree going?
30 feet?
About that.
Which would make it the deepest shelter, single step shelter we've ever been in. And it's a single step, because obviously we're talking about another, we're going to IO wink wink. There was another, you've seen it actually on the channel. But that was different because it goes down, down, and then down again, like a deep shelter. But this is a deep shelter, but this is a private. I've never seen that. And it is so, you could argue it's so well built.
It's obviously had some land shift, because the stairway from the top is
a little bit wonky.
A little bit wonky now.
We'll show you that when we go back out again. What do you think?
I'm perplexed. Because of that wood on that wall, and you can clearly see those old bunk frames.
Can you see here as well? Look, here. Can you see there are...
Could that be from the wiring though?
Dots here.
Could that be for trunking?
It could be, yeah. By the way, Sophie's, without saying what her job is, she's quite not knowledgeable in electrical stuff. So I trust when you say it. Look, here.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably...
You can see this, everybody. You can see a row of holes. Actually, it's coming out on the camera if I point them out.
I'll say your wiring.
So where does...
Oh, actually,
do you see what I mean, though?
The wiring goes up the top, because the clips are still...
Oh, look.
Because the clips are still
there.
Here in this first one.
Yeah, look at that, though. What is going on in this one?
You've also got your nails.
Hang on, is that like a little... What's that? I don't really want to... It's like a little hook. It's been...
I think you've got your nails.
That is bizarre, isn't it?
Do you think this wall is deep enough for a bunk? So your bunks would be against this... Well, they would be against that wall.
You've got space but you've
these,
not.
They're not built wide for luxury.
No, they're not.
That's the.
We've seen this again, so people can sort of say to us, "Well, we visited ones, so we can easily say this." This is where we're playing our history card, isn't it? Really, on today, because where all our knowledge, we've actually now starting to. I mean, I don't know, and all this stuff on the floor. I mean, if it's a toilet block, that's fine, and I'll take it. But it still doesn't. I mean, sure. I don't know. Do you see though with this, Soph? Look, if we're assuming this is all World War II, what we're looking at, all of this, which is quite possible because, yeah, it's quite possible. Do you see how that squares off like that? And then it carries on here, doesn't it? So that's almost like a coffin shape, isn't it? Do you see what I mean?
No.
Look, goes round the corner. Right, I don't
Is that the way it's been stacked in there?
Well, yeah, but that's pretty good fit though, isn't it?
Yeah. You make things fit.
If those nails drill into that hole at the back, we know that's purposely placed there.
Yeah.
Actually, like that up there. Look, there's holes up there as well. If that's a toilet block, you don't need holes up there because you've just got a chemical toilet.
Unless you want a light bulb.
2 light bulbs?
Well, that'd be your wiring.
Unless you got your look, it carries on here. Look,
Your wiring.
Sophie, I've got to admit this and there. Look at that, everyone.
I'm so confused.
I don't know, and I love it. I love the fact that we don't know.
Discuss in the comments.
Yeah, please do. Obviously, we're not going to reveal location, and we always have to say this. If you know it, for whatever reason, please keep it to yourselves. We really appreciate that. Just enjoy the fact that you've figured something out. But the point is, it's still not going to answer all these questions.
No.
I don't know. Actually don't know. If you go on common sense with what he said, but he even Ben wasn't 100% convinced.
Why would you use? Why would it be bricked?
Yeah, I agree.
That says to me it does go on. For how long, I don't know.
There's no evidence.
Unless there has been a fall-in
Yeah,
and they've bricked up the front of it.
yeah. So the only way of saying that would be finding our neighbours, which we sort of said about, to conclude where that would carry on. Well, we know where it's going to carry on from.
Actually, to be fair, that's still, I would say, in his garden, that wall.
Oh yeah, that's still in his garden.
We're still in the same garden.
Yeah, we're still in his. Which isn't that interesting?
We're going to have to look topside. Was there potentially a fall-in and they've just bricked up the front of it? Potentially.
So what we try, for everybody who might be a bit confused, we're talking amongst ourselves. Basically, I think we're coming to the conclusion: is it a communal shelter or is it a single shelter?
Yeah.
Because
Does that carry on down to the neighbours?
then we know it's a communal shelter, and we could almost say, yeah, but if it's a communal shelter, what we're assuming is a toilet block makes no sense still.
No.
Because why would you have just a toilet in your garden and then the rest of it carrying on?
Yeah, this would be, to me, this is your allocated plot for your family.
Yeah,
This carries
I
on as a
agree.
corridor.
I agree.
But
I've got to admit,
we need
we're
a
stuck
sledgehammer.
by this.
We need a sledgehammer.
But in a good way, yeah. I think that's really the only answer, isn't it?
We need to get
either
some
that or we know the neighbours get in contact and
Yeah.
we figure it out from their side. But I mean,
Intriguing.
it really is. Let's just put this in context for everybody as well. We know that sometimes you'll put concrete in front of brick,
You don't tend to face it with brick.
but on this occasion you would see evidence of debris of concrete. If there was a concrete wall, there's not. See, then I'm convincing myself now it's a communal shelter, because if it was blocked off, like we said from the get-go, why wouldn't you just cap that off with concrete? The only other conclusion is, like you said before, if they had a fall in, it carried on a little bit. It wasn't communal, it's still their area shelter.
Yeah.
If it carried on a little bit, so there would have been a concrete end wall, and what they've done is, just to seal that off, they've just put bricks in front of it.
Yeah.
Because that's rudimentary. There's no disrespect to whoever put them on there,
It did the job, didn't it?
but it's done the job. But it's And how many bricks deep do you reckon that is?
1 or 2.
Can you do me one last favour?
Yes.
When you go back up there and scrape off not scrape off, but just remove a bit of that top layer and just see if what's.
That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, you did? Okay, go on. Sorry. I know you did. I know, stupid question really for Sophie.
I have a proper nosy. So yeah, that's definitely 1 brick there.
Yeah.
That's 1 brick. And then, there's the back of the brick.
Oh, okay.
And then it's, I don't know, it's solid underneath. But whether that's just compact,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's definitely 1 brick deep. Maybe it's up a bit out though.
It's like revealing a tomb, isn't it? In a weird way. It's like the moment it's either collapsed because it's collapsed, or it's not because it's not. Bizarre. So again, everybody, just to reiterate, you walk down that 30-foot steps, by the way, which is massive for a private shelter. You come into this room. We assume it's either a bunk or it's toilets. If it's toilets or a bit of both, then you'd have that. I'm going to move out the way, sorry. But there's lots of wood panelling here, and wood, I don't know. I really don't know anymore now. The more I think about it, the more I get stumped by it, because it's like you could easily overthink it, but...
I'll put it this way.
Oh, hang on. Oh. That's nailed in.
Yeah.
So there are bits that have been nailed in here. There's also a lovely little jar there.
Well, you know what you just said about why would you have lights in the toilet? There's no electric hole. There's no holes in the wall here. Says to me.
Look at that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I think that was bunk potentially.
My first instinct was to say that would have been a bunk going across.
Because yeah, this section here has none of these at all.
Yeah.
Which is to say, why would you light your toilet?
We know that a common thing is toilets are normally built right by the entrance, and the reason for that is most of the time it's due to ventilation, for smell, basically. You put it near depending on the quality of them.
Yeah.
Some private shelters just didn't even have toilets at all.
That was a long night, wasn't it?
Would have been a long night. Because again, depending on if they could afford it or if they couldn't, or it's all down to finance. And this is what this comes back to: finance. This is the most amount of concrete we've seen for a shelter.
And things for a single family, then, if it is, they would have either had money or had connections for this amount of concrete in the wall. Or in between.
The only other conclusion we said was...
Well, in saying that...
Would it... Go on.
Would it have been built at the same time as the house?
No, because it would be built after a little bit, wouldn't it? Because some houses we've been to before were built in... Air raid shelters were built just before the war. If we wanted to be really... Okay, let's just go completely left field here. Sorry, everybody, we're inviting you into our conversation today. The only other thing we said about was
the radio listeners.
But that would have probably been labelled anyway, that we would have found a record on that, which it isn't.
Do they tend to put their shelters underground? Or do they just live in
most of them didn't even... well, this is it. Most of those ones didn't even have shelters.
No.
One of the famous stories is that somebody used the back of their bookstore. They had a secret passage in a bookstore. And basically, by the way, we just, if you didn't know, during World War II, they had a government, I'm not going to go too geeky on this, but the government had put out plans for some civilians to basically be listening into German radio communications. And it would have had like a little mini radio tower, etc., etc. We know where a few of those are, and we know they don't look like this, and that's... They just wouldn't have had them. They would have been, like Sophie said, in their sheds or gardens. That don't normally do a bunker like this. No. So then we're back to communal shelter. Or shelter, which we know it is. We know it's a shelter. We know it's an air raid shelter.
But how many
families?
How many households did it serve?
And the only way we'll ever find out is if it goes through that wall. But then
from the other side, if there is one.
Well, I think I've put this shelter to rights, haven't we? So far, but we're still none the wiser.
Very much none the wiser. Still confused.
If you want to put your conclusions down, everybody, in the video, but as we said before, this video is purely for documentation, and we are trying to document it whilst also having a discussion about it, because it's amazing that even in these times that we live in, trying to find evidence or information can still be scarce. And Ben, the owner, was even saying that he had trouble trying to look for any information on this as well. And sadly, and it is sad, we are now in a generation where most people aren't.
They don't preserve them.
Yeah.
It's just not documented.
The people who survived during the war, most unfortunately, they're gone. So they wouldn't have been able to know.
It's just a rumour, isn't it?
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
But what a great rumour this is. To be concluded.
Oh, yeah,
Should we just, if you take the torch for me, I'm just going to sort of like just pan around one more time. I'm sure everybody's seen this enough now that they're probably doing whatever, but for us, it's for us. So, yeah. So there we go. Final thing, room. Was it a communal shelter? The answers may lie behind that wall.
We shall see.
Final thing we need to do though is we need to look up the stairs, because we haven't actually looked properly up there, have we? Should we do it?
Let's try not to trip over the robot.
Shall I go first? You can appreciate everybody, by the way, quickly. Oh, hi. This isn't a fancy video for obvious reasons. It's too important historical-wise that we want to faff about with it, really. Is that right to say? We just want to actually video it.
And also, we just don't know.
We don't know.
We can go on our knowledge from previous.
We're going to say air raid shelter.
Oh, 100%.
We're going to say air raid shelter,
But-
definitely.
Big question: one household, multiple households.
They would have had money. Oh, final thing to conclude. They would have had money. Or resources.
Yeah. Yes.
Because obviously during World War II, concrete was quite scarce enough as a resource.
That's why I asked if maybe it was built at the same time as the house. Surplus material.
Yeah, but it's not. Too early. Way too early. Okay. Let me take everybody up. There we go. Those, I've never, ever. It's, yeah.
You
It's,
can't
you can't really actually see it being wonky.
Down here doesn't look so bad, but from the top it's really wonky.
It's so hard, everybody, to place in picture how below ground we are.
Very.
We are very below ground. Beautiful construction, the steps.
Careful, one of them is a little bit
Yeah,
slanted
right.
backwards.
Do you want to film me going up? And because I think it's going to give people a bit of a sort of idea of scale.
Yeah, up you go.
So I am, just for record, hi everybody. For record, I am 5'11",
Mind your noggin.
and as you can see,
There's-
height-wise.
There's a short lintel. Yeah, there's a lintel there.
So yeah,
You're fine.
it's actually obviously easier coming up. Are you going to be alright coming up as well?
Here you go up a little bit. Don't get stuck.
Right. You okay?
Yeah, keep going. I shall follow. Try not to get half out or fall over. And also there's this, I don't know if Dan pointed this out before, bit of trunking that is still attached to the ceiling. About halfway down it becomes unattached. Ooh, and you walk into it every time. There you go.
Right, thank you. Oh. There's Sophie. It's easier getting out though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go take some more.
Okay, cool. We'll conclude in a minute then. Well, we're done. But are we?
To be continued.
It might be a to be continued on this.
It's just a head scratcher. Absolute head scratcher.
Do you know what though? It's thank you to Ben,
Yes.
because he's been such an amazing person for allowing us to do this and to come up with our own conclusions, which was still miffed over.
Can't come to.
But he said we can come back and we can, you know, make a hole,
Remove a brick or two.
which I think is brilliant. So yeah, stay tuned everybody. But yeah, what a great shelter. We can say it's an air raid shelter.
Yes.
I think we can safely say that.
That's about it.
About it. Look, thank you so much, everybody, for coming along, watching us ramble on about our conclusions and stuff like that. We really appreciate it, and it's obviously through everybody spreading the word of the channel and doing all that that gives us these opportunities that we can keep exploring this and refer to our own historical geekdom.
Yes.
Which is brilliant. The fact that this hasn't been labelled or recorded and we've got the opportunity to do it, well, there you go. Well, take care, everybody. In more words of Phoenix history, because history matters. Does it just on this one?
Yeah.
Take care, much love. Thank you, Sophie, for joining and taking photos. Ready? Go on then. Cap out.